The world of first responder drama is never static, but a recent ripple from the personal lives of one of Hollywood's most visible power couples has sent shockwaves through the fandom. Mark Consuelos, the charismatic actor who breathed life into the complex and formidable firefighter-turned-paramedic-turned-battalion chief Eduardo Eddie Diaz on the hit series 911, recently offered a cryptic, tantalizing hint about the show's future. Simultaneously, his wife and media mogul, Ripa, has floated a spin-off idea, so compelling it has set the internet ablaze with speculation. This isn't just standard promotional chatter, it's a potential roadmap for the future of a television juggernaut. To understand the gravity of these teases, we must embark on a deep dive into the journey of Eddie Diaz, the unique ecosystem of 911, the powerhouse partnership of Consuelos and Ripa, and the fertile ground from which a new series could sprout. Mark Consuelos' comment, delivered with his characteristic charming smirk on Live with Kelly and Mark, was deliberately vague. He didn't announce a cancellation, he hinted at a finale. In the nuanced language of Hollywood, this distinction is critical. It suggests not a premature end, but a planned, narrative conclusion. To appreciate what a finale for Eddie would mean, we must first trace his trajectory. Eddie Diaz entered the 118 not as a clean-cut hero, but as a man fractured by war, guilt, and the immense pressure of single fatherhood. His initial dynamic with Buck, Oliver Stark, was one of rivalry, a seasoned, reserved soldier butting heads with a brash, emotionally open prodigy. Over seasons, this evolved into one of television's most cherished bromances, a bond forged in literal fire and blood. Eddie's storylines have been among the show's most profound. The struggle with PTSD. The show didn't use his military background as mere set dressing. It delved into the psychological scars, his therapy sessions, and the terrifying moment he shot a sniper, revealing the depth of his trauma. Fatherhood as a central plot. His relationship with his son Christopher is the bedrock of his character. Christopher's cerebral palsy is portrayed with nuance and authenticity, making their father-son dynamic a consistent emotional core. The coming-out journey. Eddie's exploration of his sexuality and his eventual heartfelt coming out to Buck and his family was a landmark storyline. It was handled with a slow, realistic burn, celebrating self-discovery without shying away from the fear and confusion that can accompany it. For Consuelos, a finale could mean providing a definitive, satisfying end to this journey. Where does a man like Eddie Diaz find his happily ever after? The hint suggests the writers are thinking precisely about that. The promotion exit. Eddie's recent promotion to battalion chief naturally pulls him away from the day-to-day fieldwork of the 118. A finale could see him fully embracing a leadership role, perhaps overseeing multiple firehouses, necessitating a graceful exit from the central cast while leaving the door open for guest appearances. The happily ever after departure. With his personal life stabilizing, his relationship with Marisol, a deeper understanding with Christopher, and his PTSD in check, Eddie might choose to prioritize family. A move for Christopher's future or a decision to build a quieter life could be a poignant and fitting conclusion. The ultimate sacrifice. While 911 has never been shy about killing off major characters, Eddie's death would be a cataclysmic event for the show. It's a high-risk narrative choice, but one that would undoubtedly provide a powerful, if devastating, finale for his character arc, testing the resilience of everyone at the 118, especially Buck. A soft reboot for the series. Consuelos' hint might not be about his character alone, but the show itself. After nearly a decade on the air, the producers might be planning a final, epic season that wraps up the overarching stories for the entire core cast, allowing the flagship 911 to end on a high note, making way for the next chapter. After 7 seasons, and counting, an actor of Consuelos' caliber often seeks new challenges. He has seamlessly transitioned from a beloved soap opera heartthrob on All My Children to a dramatic mainstay on Riverdale and now 911. The desire to explore different roles, to direct, or to simply spend more time with his family, the frequent topic on Live, are all valid reasons for an actor to conclude a long-running character story. His hint therefore feels less like a negotiation tactic and more like a genuine preview of a planned creative conclusion. While his husband hinted at an ending, Kelly Ripa, a savvy media veteran who has watched trends come and go for over 3 decades, was already planting the seeds for a new beginning. Her spin-off idea, teased in the same breath, is the yang to Consuelos' yin. But what could it be? Ripa's genius lies in her understanding of audience and brand. She wouldn't suggest a simple rehash. The success of 911-Lone Star proves that the franchise can sustain multiple shows, provided they have a distinct identity. Let's explore the most plausible and exciting spin-off concepts her tease could encompass. A prequel series set in the late 80s or early 90s, following a young Bobby Nash, a role that would require a stellar new actor. We could witness the formation of a legend, see Bobby's early partnerships, his first major fires, and the mistakes that shaped him into the unflappable captain we now. A bygone era of emergency response. Explore a time without smartphones, advanced GPS, or modern jaws of life. The drama would be raw, the dangers more visceral. Athena's early career. A parallel storyline could follow a young Athena Grant in her early days on the LAPD, navigating a male-dominated force and establishing her reputation as a 911 badass. Cameo potential. Older versions of characters like Hen's mentor or even a young Michael Grant could appear, creating a rich tapestry that connects to the present. This idea shifts the focus from a single city to a national crisis team. Modeled loosely on real-world FEMA teams or the National Guard, this unit would be deployed to the site of the country's largest disasters: catastrophic hurricanes, massive wildfires, devastating earthquakes. A roving cast. The show could feature a core team of specialists, but the nature of their work would allow for high-profile guest stars in each disaster pod, playing victims, local officials, or other responders. Global relevant stories. This format allows the show to tackle climate change, national infrastructure failure, and large-scale human drama in a way a city-bound show cannot. Crossover Central. It would be the perfect vehicle for crossovers, with the team potentially linking up with the 118 in LA or the 126 in Austin during a coast-to-coast catastrophe. The most intimate and psychologically driven of the concepts. This spin-off would place us inside the call center, focusing on the dispatchers who are the first and often only point of contact for people on the worst day of their lives. The unseen heroes. It would explore the immense pressure, the emotional toll, and the quick-thinking genius required to guide people through unimaginable crises, from a simple injury to a home invasion. A new narrative structure. Episodes could be structured around a single dispatcher's shift, interweaving multiple calls that thematically connect. The drama would come from the voices on the phone and the dispatcher's own personal lives. A link to the main show. We already have a beloved character to anchor it. May Grant has risen from a troubled teen to a confident, capable dispatcher. The series could follow her, her colleagues, and the calls that haunt and inspire them. This bold concept would fast-forward 15 to 20 years. Christopher Diaz is now a rookie firefighter or paramedic, following in his father's footsteps. Perhaps Buck and Eddie's son is also part of the new crew. This would allow the franchise to pass the torch. The original cast could appear in mentorship or guest-starring roles, providing a sense of continuity and legacy without carrying the full series burden. Create new dynamics. It would build entirely new character relationships, free from the established history of the current show, while honoring the past. Ripa's idea, whichever direction it takes, would be built on the franchise's core strength, blending high-octane, often absurdly entertaining disasters with deeply human, character-driven stories. You cannot discuss a finale or a spin-off without first understanding the unique alchemy that makes 911 a perennial hit. Created by the masterminds of high-concept drama, Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Tim Meaner, the show operates on a unique frequency. The show's signature is its over-the-top emergency calls. A roller coaster collapse, a tsunami hitting Santa Monica Pier, a man stuck in an industrial gelatin mixer, a woman giving birth in a car dangling from a cliff. These are not your standard fires and car crashes. They are cinematic, viral set pieces. The genius, however, lies in the show's commitment to making them feel plausible. Through meticulous research and a grounding in the science and procedure of emergency response, these absurd situations become terrifyingly real. The drama isn't in the disbelief, it's in the very real human reaction to the unbelievable. At its heart, 911 is not a show about disasters. It's a show about a family that happens to run into disasters. The 118 is a